Hey guys, Sal here again doing another review. I know it's been so long, and actually I'm doing a review of Suicide Squad, as you know from the title. And I know it's been like a month or so since it came out, but like I'm finally like doing this review, and just honestly, after watching the whole thing, I was kind of just like, did Diablo really have to die? Like, did he really need to die? He was like the most useful character out of all of them. I mean, like someone like Boomerang, who is just a petty thief essentially, and has a boomerang as a weapon. Ugh. He's kind of like comedic relief, but he wasn't really useful. He didn't have powers. None of them had powers except Diablo. Um, but not before I get too much into criticizing this. Like, I'm gonna first say that I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Like, I actually enjoyed it. Even though, for the most part, I felt like it was like a pilot for a TV show. Like, it was only introducing all the characters, and then they would be involved later on in like further episodes. Because I mean, if you think about it, pilots for TV shows usually last about an hour, and this movie was probably around an hour and a half, so it adds up essentially to what I'm saying. And it's kind of funny that we treat movies slightly different than television, especially for the the TV shows that are like longer than 30 minutes, because they are like little movies. I mean, they're shorts technically, they're not feature films, but still, a lot goes into those shows, and a lot more thought goes into them. And I guess the advantage that shows have over movies is that they can build up character development, environments, and all this stuff over a longer period of time. Whereas in a movie, you kind of get thrown the characters and you're expected to sympathize with them. And it's supposed to be like beginning, middle, and like with a resolution. So, you know, the characters get put into a problem, they have to figure out a way out of that, and then you get the solution at the end. And hopefully it ends up being entertaining, and you actually end up enjoying it and not walking out like, oh, I hated that movie so much. Let's see. But yeah, like I enjoyed Suicide Squad. I feel like Jared Leto was told that he was going to be in the movie a lot more than he was as the Joker. Honestly, I like his portrayal of the Joker. I don't understand how people don't get that. Like, there's so many different versions of the Joker, like in comics and in movies, that he was just doing another version of the Joker. I mean, even there's different animated versions of the Joker too, like, so, and his version of the Joker makes sense in that he's like some type of mobster type character that might like deal with, you know, drugs or something like that. So that was cool. And then looking at the trailers, I feel like Batman was gonna be in it a lot more than he was, even though he was only in like the last like hidden scene after the credits. I'll ruin that for you guys if you haven't seen that, but it's pretty much like him setting up the Justice League movie, which will probably be super cool. I don't know how I feel about Ezra Miller playing not the Joker, playing the Flash. I mean, I like him. He's a good like method actor, I think, but I don't know how I feel about him being the Flash. Definitely looking forward to the Aquaman movie though. That one's gonna be awesome. Wonder Woman movie looks like it'll be interesting. I'm just still like disappointed in like how they don't want to use someone who has a bigger like physique as a woman, like, because I feel like that would be Wonder Woman, since she is an Amazonian. woman, so I feel like the best person to play Wonder Woman would be like someone who's like a stunt woman or a female bodybuilder or something like that. But I'm like going on a tangent again, and back to Suicide Squad. Again, it felt like a pilot for a television show. You know, introducing the characters. The villain was such an easy setup because she was already there. I mean, honestly, I wish they could have just made up some type of like arbitrary, I can't even speak, can't say words. If they made up some kind of lame villain, you know, that they can just throw away so that Diablo could end up surviving, because like, or I mean, because if they're gonna involve any of these characters again in another movie, they could easily just write it off as like, oh no, he survived. And again, looking at the trailers, in the very first one, I'm probably gonna put a clip in the video, but in the first one, you actually see him in a cell. And if you remember, he was never in a cell. He was in some type of water tank thing to stop him from, like, you know, using his powers, essentially. And I did hear that, like, they kind of changed the movie a little bit, especially after Deadpool came out in February, because they wanted to add more comedy. And then also, I don't know, like, I feel like in the beginning, he probably wasn't going to die, but the way they had him die, I feel like he was trying to make up for killing his family and then like returning to him, like some type of ending like that for him. But I just didn't like that he died. He was like the only person that could actually fight them, because he also had some type of ancient spiritual thing that was a part of him. I remember kind of looking into his backstory too, and like I remember reading that growing up he always thought he was like the devil's son or something, and he was actually afraid of his powers for the longest time, and then he, you know, adapted to it in like that, you know, flashback of his past part. I mean, honestly, had an interesting story. Again, it sucks that the only two other minorities in this movie, someone who's Mexican and someone who's Native American, ended up getting killed right off the bat. I remember seeing people complain about that, and I was like, huh? That happened? Because I didn't see the movie yet. But I feel like I'm nitpicking with the trailers, but still, I really didn't want him to die. He was so cool. He was like the coolest person. Power-wise, personality-wise, I mean, I love Harley Quinn, but she was kind of useless, honestly speaking. Like it's not like she has superhuman strength or anything, but like she was kind of useless. Boomerang was kind of useless. Who else was there? Slipknot got killed. He's a Native American guy. Killer Croc probably also had some powers too. I kind of forgot about him, but he was useful, you know. And then Deadshot, of course, being good at guns. Kind of useful. Katana was my favorite though. She was my favorite. I'm only speaking in Japanese. And then when the guy was like, you're kind of late, and she's like, I had some business to take care of, and she just like murdered these two other people before showing up. Like, oh my god, she is awesome. But yeah, Harley Quinn was awesome. Honestly, I did see people complaining that she might not do the whole country accent thing, but I mean, it's like she was going between that accent and like a New Yorker accent and like all these other accents, which I feel added to her being crazy. And then the fact that I guess people don't realize that she was first introduced in the Batman animated series. if anything, and then she was in the comics. So she's actually a relatively new character to Batman, who's like, what, it's going on 60, 70 years or something? I don't know, I'll look it up after I'm like done here. But yeah, I'm kind of wondering what these characters are gonna do in the future, like DC cinematic universe, because they're definitely not a part of the Justice League. They're not a part of that. They're definitely back in jail. If anything, I feel like, you know, you're gonna see the Joker and Harley Quinn again, because Joker took Harley Quinn out of their prison thing. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I also wish this movie was rated R like Deadpool was, because one, all the characters could be cursing, and you know, they're bad guys, so they would curse because, you know, making them real people. And then two, that also would have added to like more action scenes, more blood, more of that, and it would have been way more awesome actually. But that was a missed chance. I guess they're also trying to make this more kid friendly too by giving it a PG-13. I wish more people were ballsy when it comes to that, because I feel like in Hollywood especially, they're looking towards it being marketable and making profit rather than it being a quality good per se. Like the Avenger movies. No, I'm not gonna bash the Avenger movies. They're really bad. But yeah. I mean, I guess that's it. Like, I really wish he didn't die. Also, that I think Marine who pressed the button to make the explosion happen, he had a thankless job because he just died too, without, you know, anyone being like telling his family or anything about him dying. But yeah, I guess that's it. I'm gonna try to make more videos, you know, like I'm gonna try to do 2 to 3 videos a week. My next review is going to be Don't Breathe, and how villains aren't relatable. Well, not relatable. How villains aren't redeemable. There we go. Redeemable characters. They are just one-dimensional characters that are just evil. That's it. They're just evil. They're nothing else. So you can hate them for no reason and won't care if they die, pretty much. Yeah, so that's gonna be my next review. I did enjoy that movie as well. And then also got a Patreon now, and I'm selling handmade books on Etsy. So I'll have links and stuff at the end of this as well. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.